Okay, just wanted to make a quick video on adding and subtracting negative numbers. I know there was one I posted already from Corbett Maths, but I'll just make one as well. Just a few problems that might be arising. So it is true that if you have a positive next to a positive, it makes a positive, and a negative next to a negative, it makes a positive. And if it's a negative and a positive, or a positive and a negative, that makes a negative. Which is what it is like for multiplication and division. But people often get confused when they're doing addition because they see something like maybe this one and they see, oh, a negative and a positive, so that must make it a negative. And they see this one and they see a negative and they think, oh, that must make it a positive. But the difference is they're not next to each other. If we look at these ones, they are right next to each other, the plus and the minus here. Now these brackets, they don't really matter too much. They're just there to say the whole thing's -2. If I remove those brackets, it is exactly the same problem. The problem hasn't changed at all. So those brackets are just there sometimes because it's just a way we write it in maths. Alright, I'm going to do these questions. So we have 4 minus 2. Now everyone can do that. That is just 2. The reason I want to show that one is because to get the answer 2, we have to go 4 take away 2. So how that works is we start at 4 and we're going down by 2. We look at this one, we start this time at -4. So we're starting over here in my number line. And this -2 here does not have anything to do with this minus here now. All this number has done is told me where to start. And now this is telling me to go down by 2. If I go down by 2, I end up at -6. So the answer to this one is -6. It's not +6. Just because this is a negative and this is a negative does not mean it's +6. Start at -4 and I go down by 2. Okay, this one, 5 plus 3. Again, 5 is our starting point and I'm adding 3. So I end up at 8. Easy. This one, this time starting at -5, and I'm going up 3. So if I start here and I go up 3, 1, 2, 3, I end up at -2. So this is not saying a negative and a positive combined. Yes, it did happen to be a negative answer this time, but this is always our starting point, and this is how much we have to add on. So we're going up, the plus means up by 3, so I'm going to have -2. Here I have 6 plus -2. Now remember I said if these brackets weren't here, it wouldn't make a difference. 6 plus -2, 6 plus -2, it's exactly the same thing, just one time with brackets and one time without brackets. So a negative, oh, what's happened to my stuff? A negative and a positive next to each other, or actually this is positive first, then negative, makes a negative. If the signs are different, it makes a negative. So I can rewrite this one as 6 minus 2. I can change my plus and my minus. This is a plus next to a minus, I can make it just into a minus. Now it's really easy for me to answer because I know how to do 6 minus 2. That's 4. Next one, the signs are the same. Negative and negative. So 6 minus -2. I can change my negative next to another negative into a plus. So it's going to become 6 plus 2. And again, is now an easy question that I know how to answer. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Next one, negative 6 plus negative 2. So my plus and my minus are next to each other, so they make a minus. So negative 6 minus 2 it becomes. So negative 6 minus 2. So I start at negative 6 and I've got to go down by 2. Remember, this is now my starting point. The negative 6 is my starting point. The takeaway, the minus, means I'm going down by 2. So 1, 2. So my answer is negative 8. And finally, negative 6 minus negative 2. So I have two minuses next to each other. Hang on one sec. Two minuses next to each other. I'm going to rewrite it out. Rewriting it out helps me get it into a form where I know what each sign does. It gives me forms where I don't have double signs. So 6 plus 2. Because a negative and a negative makes a plus. I've got negative 6 plus 2. So this time, instead of going down by 2, I'm going up by 2, because the plus means go up. So I'm starting at negative 6 and I go up by 2. 1, 2. My answer becomes negative 4. Okay, so just to finish off, I just wanted to do a couple more. This one, 3 minus negative 3. There is a negative and a negative next to each other. When I say minus, minus and negative are just the same thing, but they're just in a slightly different place. So they're still the same thing. So I've got two negatives here, so that becomes a plus. So I've got 3 plus 3. So that becomes 6. So once I've changed it, once I've gotten rid of the fact that there's two next to each other, it becomes an easy problem, because if I change it to a plus, 3 plus 3 becomes 6. Again here, as soon as I change my double negative to a plus, it makes the problem way easier. So negative 7 plus 3. So you should always write out this step. So negative 7 plus 3, I start at negative 7, and I'm going to go up by 3. So I have to think, does up mean I go that way or that way? Now it means I go this way. So as I go up by 3, I'm starting at negative 7. A number that's up from negative 7 is actually negative 6. That's going up, because you're getting closer and closer to 0, and then you go above 0. So to go up, I go to negative 6, and then negative 5, and then negative 4. So the answer to this one is negative 4. And finally, they don't normally put a negative then a positive next to each other in this order, but sometimes it can come up, especially when you're doing some algebra substitution. So I have negative 4 minus positive 2. And so I can put these together again. Negative 4 minus 2, because a negative and a positive makes a minus. So I'm starting at negative 4, and I've got to go down by 2. So going down, I've got to think, do I go that way or that way? And down is this way. So to go down by 2, so start at negative 4, go down by 2, negative 5, then negative 6. So my answer is negative, oh, that's the highlighter. The answer is negative 6.